What is there to say about Casio?
Casio.
God-tier watches! Get one!
Any better than Casio?
If there's one thing that unites all watch enthusiasts, it's Casio.
Okay, alright. Well, not for me they didn't. At least until very recently. I have a heart for quartz with a soul, but Casio designs were either too bulky, plasticky, or hipster for my taste, which is bold coming from a guy with a handlebar mustache. But I think time got the better of me. Shuck out all the G's, lock the illuminator in the dark drawer. Today we're going surfing. 90s style, on the TiMEworn channel. Despite my own previous unjustified and now totally different feelings about the brand in general, it was and is undoubtedly the quartz watch brand. Its beginnings go back to 1946 to an electronics store in Tokyo owned by Tadao Casio, which he, together with his three brothers, advanced into the Casio Computer Co. Limited in 1957 to bring their products, mostly electronic calculators at that point, to markets worldwide. 1974, 5 years after the first quartz-powered watch by Seiko, the Astron, Casio brought out their first digital watch, the Casiotron, and the rest is history. Now Casio is one of the best-selling watch brands worldwide by sheer numbers, and the internet is full of enthusiasts for their style, versatility and affordability. Timepieces became their #1 revenue item, and the G-Shock line sold over 8 million units alone in 2023, which came as a small surprise to me, since this is the line I cared the least about, and I thought it was mostly the classical F91W still ruling the market. Well, goes to show how much I needed to do some research. I think I finally joined the group of Casio enjoyers when I stumbled upon that one shot by Watch and Carry of a Casio DW-403, rather known as the SurfingTimer. It was long since I considered a digital watch, but the red and blue 5 seconds and 60 seconds counter instantly reminded me of a cool digital speedometer from the 90s. Thus, nostalgia kicked in, and this watch did something to me. The combination of oddly shaped resin case, roughly between 43 to 44 millimeters without the pushers, together with the yellow rotatable calculator bezel and the already mentioned charming red and blue digital counters. Oh, and I just love how the different windows for time, day and month are aligned around the colorful bars, or negative displays to be precise. The 3 pushers add to the overall busy and characteristic look and help you control the Casio typical tidal wave of digital functions. What is a SurfingTimer exactly? Not that I needed to know that for my purchasing decision, but still that question did cross my mind immediately. Aside from a self-explanatory necessary level of water resistance, 200 meters, it turns out the SurfingTimer function itself is a 5-minute countdown with beeping alarms, which helps you prepare for your heat in a surfing challenge without looking at the watch in the water. At least that's what I gathered from my research, since I surf as much as I dive, pilot or explore space with my oh-so-dedicated watches. Anyway, this name-giving feature is accompanied by a standard countdown alarm, daily alarm and stopwatch. Together with the calculator bezel, it is truly a go-anywhere, do-anything proposition in terms of functions. And if you're short of a manual for this watch, I'll leave a link in the description. Overall, it is a flat watch at 11 meters thickness and barely weighs anything. A stark contrast to my usual dive watches in stainless steel or even titanium with more than 100 grams by far, which nicely rounds off the wrist presence and feel. I like that I found it on the original rubber strap with the SurfingTimer logo near the lugs, but I immediately switched that one out anyway, since I prefer canvas or NATO over the simple 90s OEM rubber. And in my opinion, the whole watch deserves a more colorful approach at least, which means sand colored in my case. But I kind of yearn for that watch and carry look with a ribbed brown leather strap. We'll see. Anyways, here are a few things to look out for if you hunt for one of these. Have a look at the lug holes. The screws on the outside might give you the impression of locking down your lugs nice and safe, but they are only there for the looks. No practical value at all. The lugs are just drilled into the resin, which makes them susceptible to wear with frequent and possibly sloppy strap changes. The mineral glass on it is quite scratched in my case, and if you want to replace it afterwards, you need an original one if you want to keep the inner bezel here, which is directly decaled on it. The steel bezel can be quite worn or discolored, but that should be pretty obvious and is up to you what you're willing to accept. I personally wanted a bezel that is still yellow and happily accepted a few more scratches on the glass as a trade-off. General info: be aware that this watch does not offer a light-up display. No fault, but a design choice, so legibility in the dark is nil. This watch was also but rarely available with a greenish case and a matching green seconds counter instead of the blue, namely the DW-401. Also a pleasing look in my opinion. If you're stumbling upon the DW-402 and wonder how it is any different from this DW-403, know that it is basically the same watch, just with miles per hour instead of kilometers per hour on the outer bezel. The same, meaning a switch from imperial to metrical system, goes for the two brothers DW-400 or 401. Additionally, these are either known as the tachymeter or as the Skywalker, depending on the dial inscription. Both of them similar and share the case and pushers with the SurfingTimer, but totally different LCD panel, bezel and module. No SurfingTimer, but a surprise tachymeter function. They are also unofficially known as the Timecop, since the DW-400 was worn by Jean-Claude Van Damme in the 1994 film. Back to SurfingTimers to complete the picture. There was another one a few years later, mid-90s to be precise, the SUF-100 SurfingTimer, also in a colorful package. Look at that orange. But sporting a plastic bezel, which are mostly chewed up a lot, and a wave-shaped negative display. Another one would be the DW-7000. Same rotatable bezel as the SurfingTimer, different LCD panel, and a stainless steel case. Back to the DW-403 here with a quick look on the stainless steel back, and after removing the 4 screws also on the module inside. For anyone wondering, it's a CR1616 battery if you're looking to replace it. Considering price, it's the Wild West out there. I found some old forum posts from 2011 offering a DW-403, the one that I have, for 30 euros. And I'm now faced with most eBay propositions above the 400 euro mark in decent condition, most without the original strap. I think I got very lucky at below 200 euros at a private sale, since the photos were quite bad and I took a gamble at the scratched up mineral. But you have to find your own sweet spot and maybe take some more time to look for the right one. In summary, I have to be frank, I did not care about the brand on the dial that much, and I was just thrilled to get this beautiful quartz watch as it is. That said, I must admit that it got me to look at other older models by Casio as well though. Anyways, to sum it all up, this one is colorful, easy to use, just a fun 90s piece. How do you feel about vintage Casios and this one in particular? Please let me know. Hope you enjoyed this stroll into collectible quartz Casios. Thanks to each and everyone who ventures with me into the weird and wonderful of the vintage watch world. See you in the next one on the TiMEworn channel. And I keep expanding my range of watch-related shirts. Go have a look. Bye!